Something that often stirs up a bit of, at least eyebrow raising, is the idea of non-theistic God beliefs. On the internet, it's generally thought that theism is the belief in at least one deity, God, whatever you want to call it. And whilst this isn't necessarily wrong, there are types of God belief like deism, pantheism and pantheism that are thought to not actually be a form of theism. When I discuss these topics, I tend to split them into sort of theism broad and theism proper, because I think it's useful to have a sort of catch-all label that sort of, well, catches all forms of God belief. But I also understand that there are many who would put that line in between them, and the reasons why. One of the main reasons something like theism or deism and the other forms of non-theistic God beliefs are thought of in that way is the type of God that they're actually talking about. When we're talking about theism, we're generally talking about classical theism, monotheism, polytheism. These are gods that actively interfere with the world in some way, whether it's just an interaction, making people feel their love, or claims of coming down to the earth. And they also seem to want a personal relationship with humans. Conversely, the God in deism is pretty much a prime mover. And when you're thinking about pantheism and pantheism, you're not even really thinking about an entity at all. You're sort of equating the universe with divinity in some way. So there isn't that same level of interaction. Another reason for this separation is actually revelation. Most of the theistic gods have some form of revelation with them. These gods reveal themselves in some way. You feel the power. Whereas the gods in deism and pantheism and so on don't have that divine revelation. They've reached the conclusion of a God being through logic alone. Now, I know some might argue that their arguments for these gods might seem like arguments from incredulity, God of the gaps type arguments. But it's neither here nor there. They're not having this revelation that is claimed in other forms of theism. And this is basically why deism and theism are often seen as different things, especially when you include, pantheism and pandeism. That's often not regarded as forms of theism. So hopefully that's helped you understand why that separation is there, but also I can understand why you might group them all together. And that's why I've started referring to them as theism broad and theism proper, just to help people understand that there is a difference, and that I know the difference, but I also understand most people see them as the same thing.